I was laughing because all I heard from my left ear was.
Mike was just frozen. Like what, Jordan?
I didn't disagree.
Okay.
Before I could answer, that's all I heard. I just started laughing because that happens way more than it should.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's times I get a loss of words. Like, it's just like, what did Jordan just say? Where did that go?
Every now and then I say some stuff.
Yeah, it cracks me up though.
We're good to go? Yeah. Oh, man. Well, here we go. What's up, everybody? You are tuned into a very Merry Christmas special episode of the Jadacast podcast, episode 20.
20.
What is up, man? 20 weeks.
What's that voice you hear? There's another voice in
Oh,
here.
yeah. So we have a very special guest here to my left and everyone's right. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Josie.
Josie handles or manages a nice team of our customer service for Jada Toys. So, a little bit of background on her.
Yeah, so manages is kind of an understatement. She's more so like, a general.
Yeah.
When it comes to it.
It kind of has to be with some of you people that are calling us up.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
well, so one of the reasons why we wanted to bring Q on was because we feel like you just have a wealth of stories, a wealth of just experience and knowledge of having to help out our huge fan base, and we would love to hear some of those stories, maybe extrapolate from some of your experiences, and we think it would be fun. So, are you down for that?
Happy to share.
Oh,
Well, before that, let's get a little bit of a background. So, how long have you been here and all that kind of stuff?
I've been with Jada for about a year, a little
Really?
over a year.
That's it?
Yeah.
I thought it was longer than that.
No, July of last year I started.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
Yeah. Well,
a
that
year.
shows how well she fit into the group, because when someone comes in and you don't realize that they've only been there for a few months, or a year. But it seems like they've been here forever. That person fits in really well with the culture.
They mesh well. Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
You're very welcome.
We all have those people who, it might not be here, but at least in some experience in life, we've all had those people who they've been around forever, and either nobody cares, or two, we're just counting down until they're gone. So,
Well,
Well, I'm glad I'm still here then.
I'm glad you're still here too.
this is a pretty special episode. I mean, not only is it the Christmas episode, and then we have our first ever guest. It's also Jordan's birthday.
Oh, yes. Happy birthday, Jordan.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you, guys.
Putting you on the spot.
Putting me on the spot. I appreciate it. 25 years on this earth, and it's gone pretty well so far.
Sick, dude. I just heard that I'm super
I
close.
didn't know which direction to face it. I was like, oh, is it going to be?
I think Bidero is good.
Look, everyone is dropping like flies lately.
Here in this
They
office,
are.
yeah, it's
The
crazy.
entire office got hit.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Pretty strong.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This one, and to me, because I got it when I first got it, it was chills, a lot of sweating, cough, but no fever. And I think you had the same thing.
I had the same thing. I
But then-
started off with the headache, and then it just went downhill from there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so after that, I got over all that, and then it turned into just a sore throat, the cough, and then just feeling like regular sickness, which was weird because I didn't feel that weird sickness feeling in the first part of it. So it almost felt like two different viruses that came through. And a lot of people were complaining about two different kinds of symptoms.
Yeah.
It's weird. It was really weird this time.
It's bad that we're all walking around with Lysol bottles.
Yeah.
As soon as somebody says, "Oh, my throat hurts," I'm like,
Let me go wash my hands real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Flu season is real this year.
But
it is really bad.
I mean, and it's not really like crazy cold or anything. It's just, I don't know. This one just hit hard here.
Yeah. When one person has it,
But
spreads like wildfire.
in the past, though, it's like it wasn't like maybe like 2 or 3 people will get it. But this year, it's like as soon as one person got it, it just spread. Everyone in the office
everywhere.
started getting something. Yeah. Except for you two right here.
Well,
And Brian.
Well, You see.
The marketing department.
I know.
What's going on?
What's happening?
Maybe
Man.
yeah, maybe we're like the villains in a movie who like they like unleash a virus, but they have like the antibodies
Yeah.
or
Right.
or the cure or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Hey, by
the
the way, has
bubble.
anyone here had a flu shot recently? I haven't had a
No.
flu shot since I really can't even think of the last time.
I think the last time I had it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I want to say about maybe 6-7 years ago.
I
was the
never
last flu
do
shot I
that
got.
crap.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Just something about it just seems sketch. You know, I'm not as big of a conspiracy theorist as I used to be. I used to be really into that crap. I've calmed down since then, but something about that flu shot stuff just doesn't rub me right. You know,
That's borderline an anti-vaxxer right there. Dude.
I am not an anti-vaxxer. I'm not.
See how defensive he got? He even raised the finger.
Well, when you get it, it's like an hour or two later, you get hit with the flu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like you're
It's like people are paying to get sick.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
Talk
now
about-
you get it for free because it's so like the flu's
Strong,
been
right.
so bad that
And that's
But now
another,
people are
They just
volunteering to
go.
get sick.
and that's another thing that sketches me out
because
about it
it's
too.
free.
Yeah, hey man, in my life, I've come to learn very quickly that if something is either free or super low cost, you probably shouldn't want it, and you damn sure shouldn't be injecting it into your body.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
like let's be honest. I mean, sometimes
25 years and wise.
And
Wise
you,
beyond my
and you
years.
didn't get the flu
I did.
this year, so
Oh,
let's
oh.
knock
Correlation right there.
I think so. Yeah. I had something that I wanted to extrapolate on, but I forget. Yeah,
That's the second time you use the word extrapolate
I need to change up
In
my
one pod? Yeah, I didn't
in like 5 minutes.
I need to change up my vocabulary a little bit. Yeah.
It's a big
Sometimes I have to use some weird words just so I don't stutter. It's weird. I got some
Is
weird
that one of those things that you
techniques.
taught yourself?
So yes, like I had to teach myself that, or I had to like teach myself to try to make the sound of another word, but make it super faint, just so that I was able to get it out,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then be able to proceed
interesting.
with the entire word.
Yeah, so if you don't know, our host here.
It's something I have to make fun of. that we've been talking about for like the past 6 episodes of how I'm the. You know, it's funny because you know I've been here for about a year now, and I've learned a bunch of skills that I never thought I would have ever been doing. You know, everything from Photoshop, video editing, filming, marketing, whatever, and now a podcast. You know, and my whole entire life, I never thought I would be doing a podcast. But I'm the host of a podcast for a established company,
Yes.
almost the face of the company in a way,
Yeah.
in some ways, and I freaking stutter. What's going on
It
here?
happens to the best of us sometimes.
Yeah, but what are the odds of that, though?
I mean,
That's just hilarious, isn't it?
No,
It-
not
it
about
is
the
a
odds.
little-
It's just allowing us. It's us giving you the opportunity.
Equal opportunity employment. Black, stutters, disabled. Brian's over there just. Brian, he needs to have a mic one day, eventually. Yeah.
One day, yeah.
Ah, man.
I mean, he has the mics to be able to do it. He just chooses not to.
He's super low key about
Yeah,
it.
totally.
Yeah.
All right, so wait, so this is a Christmas episode, and everyone knows if you've ever been in customer service,
Oh.
Christmas time, especially after the day after Christmas,
is the greatest time ever. No.
our
Don't let
phone-
that nice voice fool you. Yeah.
Yeah, she gets pretty crazy on some of you people. But I remember
some
a
of
couple
y'all
years
mean.
ago that our phone system wasn't set up the way it is now. It would just, every line would ring if someone called into the customer service line.
Yes.
And the day after Christmas, or the first work day after Christmas, every light was lit up. Every line was occupied by someone calling about
It
customer
was like a
service.
Christmas tree. It was just like on and off, on and off.
and here's Josie like picking up the phones, transferring, holding, like it was
Jada
was
Toys,
wild.
please hold. Jada Toys, please hold. Jada Toys, please
Oh,
hold.
man.
It was just like
insane.
that when you see the cartoons or the movies that where there's one operator and then everyone's calling that one person.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you actually handle that? What did you do? You just kind of had to. Is there a method the way you do it?
No, there really isn't. And to top it off, it was my first year dealing with like the after Christmas stuff.
What did I get myself
So
into?
yeah, I was like, as soon as we literally walked in the door and 9 o'clock hit, it was just like everyone was like waiting for it to hit 9 o'clock our time.
And it was like all hands on deck here.
Yeah.
Right? All the people that you have that are able to answer these questions from the customers had to help out. That
It
time.
was you either remain calm or you went out of here feeling crazy as ever. 'Cause it was insane. It was crazy, but we just try to take one call at a time and not freak out and just stay calm with the people that are calling in.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So-
I used to be in customer service at a retail store. So I was at Bed Bath & Beyond, like when I was in college. And yeah, after Christmas, it was like everyone wanted to return their stuff. But we got some crazy stuff. Like one person came in, I just got this for Christmas. And it was a bath rug. And, so we have to, of course, open it up, check it out, make sure tags are there. And make sure it's something that our store carried.
Mm-hmm.
We opened it up. There was roaches. It was stained.
Oh my God!
It was gnarly. But because of the customer service policy, they wanted to be, super high customer service satisfaction.
Yeah.
We returned it, and we let them get
That's
a new
crazy.
one, even though they didn't have the receipt, and this thing was just gnarled.
But did you burn it?
I wanted to. It was bad. It was really bad. I was like, I had to use another bag to hold it. I just didn't know what was on it. It was just so nasty.
All kinds of AIDS. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I call for worst things. If it's super filthy, I just
You can see on this podcast we go 0 to 100. Like,
Real quick, I see that.
Has there been anything that kind of threw you off?
Actually, because we do have people that send stuff to us to, repair it, replace it. So we've had a couple of times where we've opened the boxes to see what's in there. And there's like dead roaches or there's spiders. And
really?
I hate bugs to begin with. So the moment I open it and look in the package and there's dead stuff in there, I'm like... I freak out because I don't care for bugs. So I'm like, I'll ask for gloves and then I'll like gently.
How does that happen?
Well,
I don't know.
That was my question. Like, damn, people are just...
Yeah, they don't.
People are just inconsiderate, man.
Well, I don't know. Is it that, or is it really like it's something that's been sitting in their garage in a box for a long time?
That's that was my first guess. I'm like, okay, maybe when they called at the time, they, we let them know what to do. They put it in a box and maybe never got around to it. Stuff crawled in. They just saw everything was in there, taped it up, and sent it to us, and didn't even realize there was. Occasionally,
Jordan's face.
Occasionally, you get the box too, where you open it and it's like they threw like 1 million cigarettes in there, and you're like, it's.
Jordan can't fathom what's going on right now.
Man, it's like I didn't know this part.
Yeah, I literally open it and I'm like, I just got secondhand smoking. Like it's really bad sometimes.
Gosh,
wow, I didn't know that.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
Now you know.
Wow.
You know what?
Sometimes you get a lot of surprises in those packages.
I was about to come up with something, but for once I held back.
yeah.
Thank God. As far as how critters are able to get into people's stuff, I think that from some past job experience, I can come up with a few theories. Prior to working here, I worked for 24-hour fitness for quite some time. Maybe for about 2.5 years or so. And one of the things about gym is that I feel like there are 3 places that you could work at as to where almost every type of human being will eventually show up to: a gas station, fast food joint, or a gym. You know, a person who's a serial killer, all the way to a person who is a bodyguard, to a person who's a farmer, probably goes to a gym at least maybe one point in their life. You know,
Right.
and at the gym, you see some horrible things, but you see people's.
I've heard,
Yes.
I've heard stories.
But you see the worst habits of human beings possible, and those people,
Can you just imagine his face, like finding some of the stuff we're doing? Like he doesn't hide his emotion.
no, and for me to be toned back on this family-friendly podcast is me exercising a lot of self-control. I will let you guys know that right now. But
He's literally shaking. He's talking like this.
I've seen some bad stuff, but and so what I'm trying to get at is that with every single type of person out there, based off of their habits, a lot of them also bring those same habits and hygiene issues over to the gym, and then next thing the gym has cockroaches, has rats. There was actually a point in time as to where the swim pool had these little tiny, they looked like leeches. It was some type of parasite, I swear, but I could actually see them, and they were like these black microscopic almost leeches in the swimming pool. And in the swimming pool, people are hucking the loogies. They're relieving themselves in the pool as if it's nobody's business, and so they're just bringing their filth over to another place, and then just creating all these different kinds of infestations. And so I could see somebody having a filthy house probably with roaches everywhere, because they live like a roach, and then they just like, oh well, here, let me just send this to wherever. But not our fans though. Our fans are awesome.
They are.
Yeah.
I'm canceling my gym.
I know, right? I'm like, remind me never to go in a 24-hour fitness pool. Or a gym in general.
Never go. Yes. Never go. Well, a gym, yes, but just make sure that you never use the bathroom. Make sure that you never take a shower at the gym, and make sure that you never go in the swim pool.
All the people listening about it be like, "Oh crap!"
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They're in there right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Another thing: never use the free towel service either. There used to be times as to where I would cover some shifts at other gyms that had that free towel service, and you would find cockroaches in those towels.
So nice.
Bad stuff. And those cockroaches, they were mean too. So they would
Squared up on you.
they would, dude, I swear. I swear, they would actually be just crawling in the lobby as if it's their house, and they would see you, make eye contact with you, square up on you,
flip you off,
and they would start chasing you. It was terrifying, And me, I don't like bugs either, especially spiders. I'm an arachnophobe.
Yeah, and I don't do spiders.
I don't do spiders at all. But yeah, so I could see how that kind of stuff ends up here sometimes.
Here.
Well, that was a long tangent.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I guess it's just, I'm still kind of baffled by it. I think there should be a level of consideration, I would think,
You would think.
Yeah.
Then again,
I don't think it happens very often.
Well, it doesn't sound like it happens, so therefore, I guess I'm completely wrong about everybody. Yeah.
I'll make sure to leave a package unopened for you guys next time. We can maybe open it. You can open it here and show.
We can have like an episode, like an unboxing
Unboxing
customer service edition.
Yeah.
we all
That's almost like an indirect shaming of the customers that send us stuff back.
Oh,
like you're like,
yeah,
oh, here's
right.
one of the customers
from
doing an unboxing.
from this address, this name. We're all in hazmat suits,
Yeah.
just ready to
The
go.
Lysol ready.
Yeah, that's crazy though, man.
That takes a lot of bravery on your part too.
Yeah.
You know, because me, I would be thinking kind of like, all right, if this person is angry and they sent me back something, well, then there's probably anthrax in here. I ain't
Well,
taking
great,
that risk.
Jordan. Now I'm gonna go thinking that in my
Right.
next opening of packages.
Hey, I mean, I hope it doesn't happen. I shouldn't even be talking about that. Sorry.
There's always one time in every episode where you mention something that you probably shouldn't be talking about.
Yeah. God.
Just saying.
Damn. Imagine if this was a personal podcast, just how fire it would be. It's fire already, but yeah.
Like, there's so many times I've thought about like, man, if we could have just let loose and talk exactly what we're thinking, I think it would have been a pretty interesting podcast.
Yeah, it would be.
Eventually it'll happen. Happen on a different platform,
Probably,
in a
yeah.
different room, in
Yeah.
a different area. You know.
It would have to be.
And feel free to join us too. It's a good great event.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to just be in here with you guys.
Well, that's because you're not in front of your desk
Yeah.
answering calls.
Yeah, so Josie, so as the head of customer service, so it's not just physical products that you have to deal with when people send you back stuff, but how about just some crazy phone calls or maybe some crazy emails out there?
Oh.
How often does that happen to you?
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
Okay, what are some of the
There's-
craziest ones that you ever had to experience?
I think a lot because we get a lot of serious collectors
Mhm.
that call in and they are obsessed with our products or they love our product. So they go and they buy the product, but there's a dent in the box or
Oh,
the
in the box, not even the product.
Yeah,
It's
not
a-
even the product or
Yeah.
the window of the box is
Mhm.
a little smashed in or the corner is smashed in. So they call and they're like, we just bought this and we're really extreme collectors. We want you to replace the whole box and the plastic window of it. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, are you able to return that,
Yes.
For exchange.
for an exchange? But they get really serious
Oh, yeah.
on it. They're super diehard collectors.
There's websites that sell our product that label the box condition. So you pay more for a mint condition box. 0 to 2% box is really low. The pricing is a lot lower compared to the mint condition box.
That's
They-
interesting.
Yeah, they do that kind of stuff. Some
Yeah.
online retailers do that kind of thing.
It's kind of like how on Amazon, if you buy a book, it'll say used like new,
Yeah.
good condition.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is for brand new product, and it's just talking about the package.
Just
Whether-
talking
No.
about the package.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's not even what the product inside is. It's the package.
It's, yeah.
If the package is not in mint condition, it's a really big problem for them.
So it's sacrilege almost.
It's
Yeah.
Wow. Why is that such a big deal when it comes to packaging? I mean,
I know a few podcasts ago we talked about completionists and
Mhm.
things like that, right? But I would think it's also borderline perfectionist
Yeah.
within your collection.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would think.
But also, if comic books, right? You everyone wanted to buy a comic book, and when you do, you put them inside that sleeve with the cardboard backing, so it doesn't get folded, so
Mhm.
you don't crease the corners. It's so you have a very nice condition comic book or item, and if you do tend to resell it later, it's the best quality it could be. And you don't have to, you wouldn't have to negotiate with anyone because they're not going to say oh look, that corner's messed up. You
Yeah.
get it a little bit off.
okay, I understand that. But, I feel like for a product with ours, I would think that even though our packaging is nice, well, shout out to our packaging team, but stop calling me. Sorry, had to end a phone call, spam. Anyways, but say for example, some of the products that we have on our table, it seems like you would want to have it out of package and then have it like displayed in a certain stance or something like that, and then just have it out as part of your collection, but
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just me, I don't see the point of leaving something in a box unless it's a super high quality box like our exclusive
Comic-Con.
69 Batmobile. Wait, 66 Batmobile, excuse me. Like that's a nice box.
Yeah.
So I understand if you want that one to be in mint condition.
Yeah.
But if it's one that's like, I'm on our shelves at Target.
I know what you mean. I like displaying product out of the box, but have you seen some of these people's collections where they keep all this stuff in the box?
I haven't seen too many of those.
It's a pretty impressive display.
It is.
Yeah.
Like they send pictures sometimes just to show you how big of a fan they are, and it's like an entire wall with like shelves, and each shelf has like an insane amount of product, and it's all in boxes. And I think that's why when they're that dedicated, it's the box and the product has to be in mint condition in order to be able to be displayed on their wall like that.
Yeah, and also some people really like the designs that our packaging department comes up with for these boxes.
Yeah.
So, and also like if you have a car out of the package, you don't know what brand it's from. It could be from Big Time Customs, it can be from Big Time Muscle, it could be from Showroom Floor or whatever. If you have it in the box, you know what line it came from. All the history of that actual vehicle. Even has like on the bottom the day code, which has the dates of when it was produced, so when that item was actually created. So there's a lot more information on the boxes than just protection.
It's a presentation, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. Okay, I could jive with that.
Yeah.
So they get that crazy, huh? They
do.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they call you up like, yo, the acetate's scratched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. And I mean, with those, there's nothing really that we can do. We ask them, you can go to the store and try to exchange it. And there's some people that'll be like, well, I went through all the boxes and there's an issue with all of them. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. Or like, I don't have a box that I could just give you to remove the car and put it into. So we get those kind of phone calls.
Do they get angry?
Sometimes they do, because they say we're the company, we're the ones that made it. We should have boxes that we should be able to replace for them, but we don't.
Yeah. It's like, we're going to start stocking all the boxes for every product.
That would be an insane amount of boxes, and so we just can't do that.
We don't have the capacity. And what's going to happen if someone has a box that did buy it and it was in mint, but they mess it up? Are they going to start calling us to get replacement boxes? Then we're going to have a business of just replacing boxes. That doesn't make sense.
We try to accommodate everyone, but sometimes we just can't. We try to help, but you bought it from the store. You're able to look at what the packaging looks like. If it's damaged and it's not to your standards, then
why buy it?
Don't buy it. Yeah.
Do you find that so now that you've been a year in, there are different callers, right? So what we just kind of discussed was more like the collectors that call in, but I would assume, well, I know for a fact, we also get callers like your average person that just stumbles across our items, whether maybe it's not of our core stuff, maybe it's our preschool RC stuff or and things like that, and they call in. You find I'm just trying to get to the juicy bits here. So
let's go.
In terms of level of anger or frustration on their behalf, do you find a bigger frustration level and tone of voice when they talk and they call in, as far as the average person versus the collector?
Oh yeah.
Our collector's a little bit more patient, or vice versa. I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference when they call in.
Do you have a specific way you go about it, or
I just try to stay. Sometimes they call, and the minute you answer the phone, they're already cussing you out, and you don't even know what the problem is.
Yeah.
So you get on the phone, and I'm like, sir or ma'am, if you can just calm down for a second and let me know what the problem is. I might be able to help you. And half the time they don't want to hear what you have to say. And it's just, they call you every name in the book. Yeah. And then go on and tell you, I bet you don't have kids. And if you did have kids, you're probably a terrible parent or something like that. Really? Like they go to that extent when it's literally, they don't let you say one word. It's like, you call customer service for us to help you, but we can't help you if you don't let us get one word in.
You know, the one thing that people who call into customer service lines don't realize, because, you know, they're on the offensive. They want to get something out of you.
Right.
But they don't realize that the person on the other end is doing their best to help you in the best way possible.
Right.
That stays within company policy and all that.
And that, I think, you touched on, I think that's what gets lost in translation in all of it, is because when they call in, they're expecting, it's the whole, I think, expectation of entitlement, I feel.
Yeah.
Maybe like when they call in, they feel entitled to, you know, being helped or having their things replaced when they don't, or they fail to realize that maybe the person on the other line, in this case, Josie, there's certain policies that we have to abide by. And while we as people would love to help in general, given the policies that are in place, there are certain things that we can't really do, right? So it's kind of also understanding that perspective. But when people call in and they're upset and they're like cussing you out and things like that, there's like, I don't know. It's hard to deal with somebody that's irrational.
Oh yeah. There's been
props
times.
to you. I feel like I lose I was talking about, honestly.
I think there's only been one person in the entire year that I've been working here that really made me lose it.
Really?
Yeah, one person.
Let's go deep into this one.
Because it's funny, because where my office is, I can hear Josie talking on the phone sometimes. And I hear her, and she's super patient, which is so funny to me, because she's like, our address is blah, 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 blah. And then she pauses. No. Blah, 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 blah. And I literally heard her repeat it maybe 7-8 times. And she was just so calm the whole time. And I was laughing my ass off. I wanted to call her as soon as she woke up.
If I was like on the phone with that person, I'd have like a pencil in the other and just like snap it in half.
You have to be patient with them sometimes. Yeah. Like I had a customer actually like 2 days ago call, and it was an older woman, so I tried to have more patience with them because some of them don't know or aren't into the technology that we have out right now. So I get it. It's a little hard and it can be frustrating for them, but this woman had me and she called, and it was one of our RCs, and she bought it for her grandson. And on the package, we let you know what the age, appropriate age for the child should be to play with the toy. And so she called and she says, well, it says 3+. And I said, okay, well, how old is your grandson? He's 3. And I'm like, okay, so it would be appropriate for him. Well, how do you know it would be appropriate for him? And I'm like, it's a pretty simple function RC. It's part of the Disney Juniors, so it's not difficult for them to know how to maneuver the remote. And she thought there was 2 remotes in the box, so because there's a picture of the remote and then there's the actual remote. And I said, no, ma'am, there's only one remote. And she said, no, one's smaller and the other one's bigger. And I said, no, there's only one.
Jordan's slowly losing humanity right now.
It gets better, don't worry. So then I explained that to her. She asked me about the batteries. I let her know what kind of batteries. She hung up. Literally, the moment I put the phone down, the call came back again, and I happened to answer. And she said, I don't know if I just spoke with you, but she's like, it shows on there gray batteries. Where can I locate these gray batteries? And I'm thinking, what gray batteries? And she's like, if you turn your box around, there's 3 gray batteries that go in the car and 2 gray batteries that go in the remote. And I'm like, ma'am, that's just a picture of batteries to show you how many you need to put in. And she's like, well, where do I find these gray batteries? And I'm like, it's just a picture. I'm like, you can buy any batteries, Duracell, Energizer, whichever battery. It just needs to be 3 in the car and 2 in remote. And she's like, oh, okay. Hang up the phone. She calls back literally a minute later and says, it shows that you need 3 batteries in the car and 2 in remote. But then at the bottom, it also states again, 3 batteries and a car and 2 in the remote. And I'm like, yes, it's just in 2 different languages. And she's like, no, it's in English. And I'm like, the second one will either be in Spanish or French. And she's like, no, it says PILAS. And I said, that's how you say batteries in Spanish. And she was like, no, I'm saying it in English. That's how you say batteries. And I'm like, it says pilas. Pilas is how you say batteries in Spanish. And she was like, no, I don't really think you know your product very well. And I said, okay, ma'am. Well, you just need 3 batteries in the car and 2 in the remote. Have a good day.
Jordan, customer service. Look at his hands, his fingers.
Sorry, Jordan.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not your fault.
The level of patience required to talk to some of these people. Yeah,
I've been there. You're a better person than I am because back in my customer service days, I had a job as to where everyone who I worked with was a scumbag, all the way from my managers down, and so I was able to get away with almost anything I wanted. I was always super nice to people until they weren't nice to me, and on these phone calls, I would just turn into a sarcastic asshole sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes,
just being honest,
they hate. I think. Like when I get the angry customers and they're cussing and everything, and I think they're expecting me to get on the same level that they're on so that it could just be like a battle between who can say what the best. Mm-hmm. And when I end the phone call and they're still cussing and I'm like, thank you for calling Jada Toys customer service. I hope you have a great day. And they will just lose their mind.
That pisses them off.
And it makes them even more mad. But I'm like, I'm not going to stoop to your level. You can call and you can say what you have to say and whatever's on your mind, but I'm not going to come back at you like that. So
I want our fans to vote. Like the fans that actually watch and listen to this podcast, right? There's really cool idea that Josie and I have talked about in the past, and I would love to see it happen. I just want to see the fan feedback. So first, Josie's story just now that she just gave of the people that call in to see if certain people can stoop to their level, I'm all for that. I would love to have a war for it. And I say that we have a special line just for that.
A special line for
line just to be like, Jada Toys, how can I help you? And it's just it's like
an aired out line.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you want to come at me, I'll come right back at you. And, by the end of it, hopefully you got it all out.
Isn't that called social media?
Hey, yo, can we do that?
But there's some tough guys on social media that you see them face to face and they're
like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the social media aspect of it is still a company image to uphold.
Yeah.
Right. But we have a special Jada customer service line where you don't know who you're going to talk to. You could talk to me. You could talk to Jordan.
I will be undisputed. I will be the undisputed champion. Come at me.
Yeah. I say we have that line. And there's a threshold, right? Mm. Like if somebody calls in and Josie's being very patient with them, but they keep going, I think then Josie can just be like, sir or ma'am, excuse me, I'm going to transfer you to line 1.
Special line.
Special line. Please hold. And then it's one of us. Jada Toys, how may I help you?
Yeah.
He is dying to have that, by the way. We had this conversation about having the special line, and he was all for being the one to answer the phone.
See, I appear very calm and collected on these podcasts, but I would have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I would have a lot of fun.
I am all in.
There you go.
Yep.
So if Daryl's busy, we'll transfer them over to you.
Oh yeah. Me and Daryl can be some RNs, if you know what I mean. I'll let y'all figure that one out. Man, does it ever get to a point as to where somebody is so angry at you, they're just so belligerent and fired up that you hear it and it's almost hilarious?
Oh yeah.
Because it's like, is this what you really have to worry about right now?
Yeah, it is. I mean, like the one customer that I said I'll probably never forget is the one guy. This man had me standing at my desk and I was like pointing and I was like, I'm like, no, like I'm trying to help you out and then you just still want to go, but you went to a whole nother level. And I can be patient, I can be nice, but the moment you cross that line, it's no longer a customer service call. It's okay, I'm gonna come right back.
It's a roast battle.
Yeah, and like
that's what I'm talking. The special line is for.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
The Jada roast.
It's okay. I'm like, I have a lot of patience, but the moment you see me out of my chair and with the phone to my ear, and I'm just, you
scary.
have literally pushed every button of mine that can possibly be pushed, and now I literally hung up the phone because we had to transfer him to somebody else because he just would not stop. Hung up the phone and I was shaking on how like my face felt hot, like my ears were on fire, and I hung up the phone and I said, I have never in my life dealt with somebody that angry before too. And I was mad at myself for letting him get me to that point because it should have never escalated to that, but this guy was just
was it justified though? Like did he have a right to be angry? I mean,
he did. I mean, he was probably one of those that he was a collector, and there was like a smudge on the car that he bought. Yeah. It was on the window side, so he said he noticed it when he bought it. Yeah. But then called and wanted us to replace it, but we couldn't because that was an item that was an exclusive item, and we just didn't have it. Yeah. So, I mean, I tried to help him. I asked him if he could return it to where he bought it, and he just went ham. And it was like, and people walked by and like saw me standing and yelling. They were like walked as fast as they could away.
Hey, let me go talk to her later.
That was the only one, though. I think for the most part, I stay pretty calm with the people. Even as much as they're mad and angry, I think he's like my only one that really made me lose it. Yeah. Like, yeah. I had to take a walk after that.
Is there any opposite though, like where someone just calls just to say, I just want to say thank you for what you guys do?
We do.
Really?
We do get calls on that too. We get calls, and
I've gotten written letters before, like
yeah, we get written letters. They'll call just to say, and sometimes you're like, because when we answer, they've got like it sounds like they're angry, and then they're like, oh, we just wanted to call to say, thank you for making such an amazing product. My entire family loves it. My kids love it. We can't wait to see what else Jada brings out in the future, like that kind of stuff.
Eclipse.
What?
Make Brian's eclipse.
We see that a lot on social media.
Yeah.
But that's good. I'm over here getting all worked up for you.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh man, I really got to make this line happen. And then we go and say, oh, there are actually good people.
They are.
And I'm like, okay,
they are.
Just calm down, Daryl. Bring yourself.
Let's go from 100 down to
back to 0.
I don't know, man. I could go back to 100 real quick if y'all want to. That is.
Oh, man.
We have a lot of nice people that
Definitely.
call it.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome because those kind of things are a lot more rewarding. I think one of those in a day of just a bunch of knuckleheads.
Those are what makes it worth it. Like all the angry people, and then you get like the really nice people that call. You also get the kids that crank call you.
Oh, really?
Like 6-7 times.
Really?
And they'll call and then you can hear them laughing, or they'll hang up and call and be like, yeah, yes. And then I think there was one kid who called maybe like 20 times, like just back to back. And finally I picked up and, they were laughing and I said, you know I have caller ID, right? And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Please don't tell my mom. And he hung up.
That was when I was younger, I did a lot of crank calling, and then one of the people called me back, and I was like, oh my God, my heart was racing so much. I was like, ooh, and that's the last.
Never again.
Never again.
That's probably what happened to him.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh man,
I miss prank calling. I haven't done that in a while.
Watch after this podcast, I'm gonna hear Jordan go back to his cube. I just hear giggling, just like the refrigerator running.
Just don't call me, okay?
Oh my God, that would be hilarious.
Yo, that would be so messed up if you were so worked up over this one person and it's been me the whole time.
And it's you the whole time.
It's just hilarious though. That is like a grown man doing this. Is your refrigerator running? Crank on.
Oh man. He's like,
oh my Lord. Wow.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Do you ever play along with any of them? If you're super bored and you're just like, screw it, I have 5 minutes. So let me just go along. Well, like, no, my refrigerator is actually out.
No, I haven't done that with any of them.
No, not, all right.
Next time I'll try to take you up on that advice, though.
Yeah, just hit us up.
I'll go.
Just hit us up, and we're ready to go.
You know, next time, this is like one of those things because like being in an office setting, like we're all busy, but we also all have those moments in a day where we just need to, especially like when you're in the creative field, right? You need to walk around, you need to talk to people, you need to have fun. I feel like we should have like segments in the day where like if Josie feels like this is going to be a juicy call, she's like, Jada customer service, please hold. So she holds and she calls us and we go up front. And we're just listening in on the other.
We just start a conference call and we're all just listening.
Yeah, we should. That would be so fun. That would be so
messed up.
Yeah. I've also brought up the idea once before because like for everybody that follows Jada Toys on social media, then we do the Jada Toys Feature Friday, right? Which is pretty much every Friday we kind of acknowledge our fan base and things like that for all their collections and like their creativity. I think it's really, really cool. We should start one for customer service. Yeah. Funniest like calls of the week or stories of the week or complaints. I think that would be hilarious. Just put them on blast.
I'm down. I'm down. I am down to allocate portions of my day to compiling all this stuff just so we can put you on blast. Y'all don't understand. I'm fueled by vengeance. All right, so I will bleed if it makes you bleed. Not literally.
Anyway, that sounds fun. It requires a lot of patience. I'm very, very impressed. I don't know if I have that level of patience, and I like to think that I'm a pretty patient person.
I mean, yeah, I think they test you for sure. And then you get like the people that just want to call and be like, hi, your voice sounds really hot. What's your number? And I'm like, do you have a question on our product? No. Okay.
Really? You get stuff like that too?
Yeah. I got asked out on a date and the guy lives in like Indiana or something. And I'm like, you don't even know what I look like.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, now they will.
Yeah.
Josie's about to be famous. Jada famous. Why do I keep just putting our name in front of stuff?
I know, right?
That's so silly.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, don't be fooled by a voice, fellas, because because I know. Never mind.
I was about to stop you too. I was like, okay, good.
on second thought, I forgot that this is a family-friendly podcast.
It seems like you forget that a lot.
Yeah. I'm just not family. If I was a stand-up comic, I would be like those ones who like it says, "Do not bring your kids to."
Oh yeah.
I'm that guy. Do not come see me.
At least you
kids.
gave fair warning at the beginning.
Definitely.
Do you give it at every podcast?
No. No, I think that 20 episodes in, they just come to expect it now. Well, they know.
Might be a good idea though.
Yeah.
Just put like a little something under it.
Warning.
Warning.
You will hear horrible things. What's it called? Dang, I had one more thing I wanted to ask you before we wrapped up this podcast, but
customer service related, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was actually a good one, a funny one, but I forget. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
When you remember, you can ask.
Yeah. Okay, we'll throw you back in here, and then we'll be able to. Yeah, we should have you on like way more often.
This was fun,
and you fit well.
Glad,
you know,
I'm glad
you're
I got
not
to
all
be the
scared
first.
and nervous and all shy and stuff. Like you're one of us.
I can hear you guys when you guys do them. I can constantly hear like the laughter, and I'm like, what do they do in there? Then I watch them, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happened.
Do you ever have times where like you can hear us and you're just like, I want to have fun. I want to have fun too.
All the time. I'm like, man, they sound like they're having a blast in there, and here we are working.
This is work. What are you talking about?
It is work.
Yep. Content creation, baby.
Yeah.
First in the toy company, by the way.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, you know what? I can't think of a better place to end the podcast than with that. And so that is the wrap up of episode number 20. If you guys liked this podcast, be sure to if you guys enjoyed this podcast, be sure to like and subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are streaming everywhere. Send it to a friend. We are trying to grow this thing. I'm trying to get 10,000 subscribers on YouTube by New Year's.
By New Year's, which
2
weeks.
Yeah. And so this episode should be coming out on Christmas. So help your boy out, you know. Be a real fan and get me some more fans. Well, Josie, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me.
Here. Yeah, it was a great
so
episode.
much fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It was
Happy
fun.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
I still say Merry Christmas.
Yes, that would be the appropriate thing to say.
I know I'm gonna piss some people off, but sorry. Anyways, I hope that everybody has a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, and we will see.
Are we recording next week?
What?
Are we gonna have one for after Christmas?
Yeah, we should have a New Year's.
Yeah.
Before I leave.
Have a 2019 one.
Yeah, I'm flying to Hong Kong.
Flying to Hong Kong?
For a toy fair.
Yeah, okay.
So we should do it before.
So, yeah, okay. So we will have one next week. And then the week after, you might not be there.
Shoot, get me on FaceTime.
We'll do that. Skype podcast. There we go.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, everybody. Peace out.
Later.